Hello everyone. I am Dr. Megha Bhamri, Assistant Professor, Dada Ramchand Bakru Sindhu Mahavidyalay, Nagpur. My today's topic is Equisetum morphology and anatomy of vegetative structure. Here you can see the image of equisetum. Equisetum is also known as horse tail or scoring rush. Equisetum is also known as horsetail as the branched species resemble a horse tail. Scientific name Equisetum is derived from the Latin equus means horse and seta means bristle. Thus it is horse-like bristle and also known as horse tail. It is also known as scoring rush because the stems are rough and durable due to their high silica content, and earlier it was used to scrub pots and pans. So now we talk about the occurrence and distribution. This is mostly found in temperate, north temperate and tropical zone. It is mainly grown in damp and shaded places. Others can grow in ponds and marshes also. Then some of the species are found in dry habitats, that is the xerophytic conditions along the roadsides and railway embankments. Thus it shows both the hydrophytic as well as xerophytic characters. Equisetum are indicators of the mineral content of the soil in which they grow. Some of the species may also accumulate gold, and they are also known as gold indicator plants. One of the remarkable character of Equisetum is silica deposition on the outer wall, which makes it feel rough and also protect it from predators and pathogens. In this image you can see the vegetative structure of Equisetum. The stem is basically divided into two portions, that is the aerial shoot and the underground creeping part, which is known as rhizome. Aerial shoot is being divided into nodes and internodes, which is very clearly seen in the diagram. The rhizome at the nodal portion give rise to the adventitious roots, and the leaves are in the form of scale-like, and strobilus are present on the fertile branches. These all factors will be more clear in the further slides. We first talk about the adult plant body, which is a sporophyte, as Equisetum is a pteridophyte, so the sporophytic plant condition is dominant here. The plant body is divided into stem, roots and leaves. As I told that the stem is divided into two parts, that is the rhizome, underground rhizome portion, and the erect aerial shoot. Then the aerial shoot shows dimorphism, that is the vegetative and fertile. Vegetative shoots are profusely branched, they are green in color and chlorophyllous. They help in photosynthesis, while the fertile part, that is they are unbranched, brownish in color and achlorophyllous. After this, as I told that the stem is divided into nodes and internodes. In the internodal portion, longitudinal ridges and furrows are clearly seen. Otherwise, they are hollow tube-like structure. In this diagram, we can see the Equisetum urvens, which is showing the strobilus on the fertile branches, and in the inside image we can see the vegetative structure. Now comes the leaves. The leaves are very simple, small, scale-like and isophilous. Isophilous means, iso means same, means all the leaves are of same type. They are united at least for a part of the length, and thus they form the sheath around the stem. The sheath are free and they have pointed teeth-like tips. Number of the leaves also varies according to the species. Here one thing I would like to mention, that leaves do not perform photosynthetic function, although they provide support to the young buds at the node. Now we talk about roots. The roots are, primary roots is ephemeral. Ephemeral means short-lived. In this image we can see the internodal portion and then some teeth-like structures which are covering sheath also present here in this picture. Now we talk about the anatomy of the equisetum. First we take TS of aerial of internode. As you can see in the diagram that the outer line is wavy with ridges and furrows, and the outer layer is of epidermis. Here you can see three clear canals, that is vesicular canal, carinal canal and a central hollow pith. Now we take the elaborate part of this transverse section. Here we can see that the outermost layer is of epidermis, which is cuticularized, and below it are present thick-walled sclerenchymatous cells. And below this sclerenchymatous cells, chlorenchymatous cells are also present, which are filled with chlorophyll and help in photosynthesis. In the grooves we can see the sunken stomata are present. Now after the chlorenchymatous cells there are ground tissues which are of parenchymatous cells and which have some aerating structures or the spaces in them. They are known as vesicular canals. After this ground tissue region comes the single layered epidermis, which is followed by pericycle, and then we can see the stele. In the center the pith is present. Here the stele is ectophilic siphenostele. Now what is siphenostele? Siphenostele is a stele consisting of a core of pith surrounded by concentric layers of xylem and phloem. Here it is ectophilic siphenostele, means the siphenostele in which the ring of xylem occurs around the pith and a ring of phloem outside the xylem. Here you can see all the three canals very clearly: vesicular canal, carinal canal and the pith. Now we are, as I told you previously, that Equisetum shows both the xerophytic and hydrophytic features. Some of them are discussed here. Xerophytic features: presence of the ridges and furrow, then the epidermal cells have silica deposition, presence of sunken stomata, there is very well developed sclerenchymatous hypodermis. The leaves are reduced in the form of the scale leaves and they are not performing the photosynthetic function, although they are giving protection. Then the stem is performing the photosynthetic function and well developed vesicular cylinder is seen. Now when we talk about hydrophytic features, the presence of well developed aerating stem formed of vesicular canals and central pith cavity. Here the xylem is reduced. Now we talk about the stem through node, anatomy of stem through node. The anatomy of stem through node differs from that of internodes in only few of the features. Like in the diagram we can see that hollow pith is not present. It is in the form of a nodal diaphragm. It is a solid portion, and the vesicular canal and carinal canals are absent in it. And then we can see the leaf traces in them. The rest are similar to that of the internode of aerial shoot. Now we talk about the anatomy of transverse section of rhizome. Anatomically, rhizome is also almost similar to that of aerial shoot, apart from certain differences like no stomata in the epidermis. There is no stomata. Then outer cortex has less sclerenchyma, presence of parenchyma cell in the cortex, vesicular canal, carinal canal and central canal are narrow as compared to that of the aerial shoot. Here as you can see, almost all the things are similar, apart from there is no stomata, and the canals which are present are little narrow as compared to that of the internodal portion. Now the anatomy of root. The anatomy of root shows epidermis, cortex and stele. Epidermis, cortex and stele. The cortex is being divided into two portions, that is outer cortex, inner cortex. Outer cortex is made up of thick-walled sclerenchymatous cells and the inner cortex is made up of parenchymatous cells. And the stele is protostele, that is xylem in the center rounded by the phloem. Here you can see in the diagram the root hair present along with the epidermis, then sclerenchymatous outer cortex and thin-walled parenchymatous inner cortex. Altogether they will form the cortex. Then endodermal cells are clear in it, and then you can see the xylem and phloem. Protostelic condition is clearly seen. So this is all about the morphology and anatomy of Equisetum. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much.